At 84, Connie Smith looks back across more than 6 decades of music, faith, heartbreak, and triumph, and for the first time she speaks openly about the man who quietly helped shape her destiny, Bill Anderson. Her voice, still gentle yet steady with experience, carries the weight of a lifetime as she reflects on a journey that began far from the bright lights of Nashville. Born in humble surroundings in Elkhart, Indiana, she grew up surrounded by hardship, where music became her refuge and her hope. Long before fame arrived, she sang gospel and traditional country songs, learning to pour emotion into every note, a quality that would later define her legacy. When she eventually moved to Ohio and began performing locally, she had no idea that one evening would change everything. Bill Anderson, already an established songwriter, heard her voice and recognized something rare, not just talent, but sincerity. He saw a storyteller, someone whose emotion could reach listeners in a way that polished perfection never could. His belief in her opened the door to RCA Victor, and soon afterward she recorded the song that would change her life forever, Once a Day. The record soared to #1 and stayed there for 8 weeks, a historic achievement that instantly placed her among country music's most powerful voices. Yet behind the success, Connie remembers something deeper than chart positions. She remembers guidance, patience, and respect. She recalls how Anderson never tried to reshape her identity, never pressured her to chase trends, and instead encouraged her to stay rooted in authenticity. As her career flourished with dozens of hits and admiration from legends like Dolly Parton, Loretta Lynn, and George Jones, she carried with her the quiet confidence he had helped build. Years passed. Life brought marriages, motherhood, struggles with anxiety, and even a step away from fame. But the influence of Bill Anderson remained constant. She now reveals that their bond was never about rumors or speculation. It was built on trust, collaboration, and mutual respect in an industry that often lacked both. She describes him as a steady presence during her early uncertainty, someone who listened carefully and understood her voice before the world did. As she speaks today, her words are not dramatic but reflective, shaped by wisdom and gratitude. She emphasizes that what mattered most was how he treated her as an artist and as a person, giving her space to grow while protecting the sincerity that made her unique. Through decades of changing sounds and shifting trends, she stayed true to traditional country music, and she credits that foundation to the guidance she received early on. Now, with her legacy secured and her place in the Country Music Hall of Fame firmly established, Connie Smith finally shares the truth. Bill Anderson was not just a songwriter behind her breakthrough, but a guiding force who helped her find her voice and believe in it. Looking back, she sees their relationship as one of the most meaningful chapters of her life, defined not by headlines but by respect, mentorship, and a shared love for music that continues to echo through every song she ever sang at AT84. Connie Smith reflects on a remarkable life shaped by perseverance, faith, and a voice that changed the course of country music. And in doing so, she finally opens up about the quiet but powerful influence of Bill Anderson, the man who helped guide her from uncertainty to stardom. Growing up in modest conditions in Elkhart, Indiana, she never imagined that her heartfelt singing would one day echo across concert halls and radio stations nationwide. Music was a refuge, her way of expressing emotions that words alone could not capture, and by the time she moved to Ohio and began performing locally, her voice already carried the emotional clarity that would define her career. When Bill Anderson first heard her sing, he recognized something extraordinary, not just technical ability, but authenticity, a quality that connected deeply with listeners. His belief in her led to an opportunity with RCA Victor, and soon afterward she recorded the unforgettable Once a Day, a song that soared to the top of the charts and remained there for 8 weeks, setting a historic milestone for female country artists. Yet Connie now reveals that the true impact of Bill Anderson extended far beyond that first hit. She describes how he listened carefully, encouraged a natural storytelling style, and helped her remain grounded in traditional country roots at a time when the genre was shifting toward pop influences. As her career flourished through the 1960s and 1970s, earning admiration from legends such as Dolly Parton, Loretta Lynn, and George Jones, she carried with her the confidence he helped instill. Through personal struggles, multiple marriages, motherhood, and even stepping away from fame to focus on family and faith, his early guidance remained a steady foundation. She now explains that their relationship was built on mutual respect, mentorship, and artistic understanding rather than sensationalized rumors. He treated her as an equal, valued her sincerity, and encouraged her to stay true to her emotional delivery, qualities that later earned her recognition, including induction into the Country Music Hall of Fame. Looking back across decades, Connie Smith emphasizes that success was never only about chart numbers or awards, but about the people who shaped her journey. Bill Anderson, she says, mattered because he believed in her before the world did, because he understood the depth of her voice, and because he gave her the confidence to stand firmly in her authenticity. Her revelation is not dramatic but deeply reflective, a tribute to a partnership rooted in respect, artistry, and shared love for country music. In her words, he was more than a songwriter. He was a guiding presence who helped her discover who she truly was as an artist. And even now, as she looks back on a lifetime of music, she acknowledges that his influence continues to echo in every note she ever sang, every stage she stepped on, and every listener moved by the sincerity that defined her legacy. At 84, Connie Smith speaks with the calm authority of someone who has lived through every rise and fall the music world can offer, and in her reflection she finally sheds light on the truth about Bill Anderson, the man whose early belief in her talent quietly helped shape the course of a legendary career. Long before the spotlight found her, Smith was a young woman from Elkhart, Indiana, surrounded by hardship but grounded in faith and family, where music became a sanctuary and her voice developed into a powerful instrument of emotional storytelling. When she moved to Ohio and began singing publicly, she had no grand plan for fame. She simply sang from the heart. It was during one of those performances that Bill Anderson heard her and immediately recognized something rare, a sincerity that couldn't be manufactured. His encouragement opened the door to RCA Victor, where she recorded the timeless hit Once a Day, a song that soared to #1 and remained there for 8 weeks, launching her into country music history. Yet, as she now reveals, the most important gift he gave her wasn't just a song, but confidence. She recalls how he respected her natural style, encouraging her to embrace the emotional honesty that later defined her voice. As her career expanded through the 1960s and 1970s, she earned admiration from icons like Dolly Parton, Loretta Lynn, and George Jones, but she never forgot those early days when she was still finding her place. Through personal struggles, family responsibilities, and periods away from the spotlight, she carried the lessons Anderson taught her: stay authentic, sing truthfully, and let emotion guide the performance. She now clarifies that their relationship was built on mutual respect and artistic understanding rather than the rumors that often surrounded Nashville collaborations. He treated her not as a project, but as a partner in storytelling, and that trust helped her remain rooted in traditional country music even as the industry evolved. Looking back after decades of success and recognition, including her induction into the Country Music Hall of Fame, Smith emphasizes that Bill Anderson's influence was foundational. He helped her discover her voice, but more importantly, he helped her believe in it. Her words carried gratitude rather than drama, describing a connection defined by mentorship, encouragement, and shared love for heartfelt music. In revealing the truth, she paints a picture not of scandal, but of quiet guidance, a songwriter who saw potential, a singer who embraced authenticity, and a partnership that shaped the emotional core of country music. Even now, as she reflects on her journey, Connie Smith acknowledges that every note she sang, every stage she stood on, and every listener moved by her voice carries a trace of that early belief, proving that sometimes the most powerful influences are not the loudest, but the ones that gently guide a life toward its true purpose. At 84, Connie Smith reflects with unflinching honesty on a life that has been both extraordinary and deeply human, finally revealing the truth about Bill Anderson, the man whose early recognition of her talent changed everything. Born in Elkhart, Indiana during a time of economic hardship, Smith grew up surrounded by challenges that could have crushed her spirit, but instead shaped her resilience. Music became both refuge and expression, and even as a young teenager, her voice carried a rare clarity, power, and emotional depth. When she moved to Ohio and joined a local band, she was simply a girl with a dream and a voice that could stir the soul. It was there that Bill Anderson first noticed her, not as a commodity or a rising star, but as a raw talent brimming with authenticity. Anderson's mentorship was quiet yet profound. He didn't force her to fit a mold or chase fleeting trends. Instead, he nurtured her voice, taught her the nuances of storytelling through song, and gave her the confidence to embrace the emotional honesty that would define her career. Their collaboration led to the recording of Once a Day with RCA Victor, a song that not only topped the charts for 8 weeks, but also announced to the world that Connie Smith was a force in country music, capable of blending vulnerability and strength in a way few could. Over the ensuing decades, Smith became a fixture in the genre, producing a string of hits that highlighted her mastery of traditional country storytelling while influencing countless contemporaries and successors alike, from Dolly Parton to Loretta Lynn and George Jones. Yet throughout her rise, Smith's personal life remained intertwined with challenges, from navigating multiple marriages and raising children to stepping back from the spotlight to focus on her spiritual life, showing that the human experience behind the fame was as rich and compelling as the songs she sang. In her later years, Smith's reflections reveal that Bill Anderson's influence was not simply about producing hits or crafting a successful career, but about fostering integrity, respect, and artistic authenticity, lessons that guided her through every triumph and hardship, and that helped her maintain a voice that could convey heartbreak, joy, and unwavering truth. By finally sharing her perspective, she honors a partnership that was never about scandal, but about the quiet power of mentorship, the profound impact of belief in another person's talent, and the enduring legacy of a woman who defined what it means to sing from the heart. Even now, Smith's words resonate as a testament to how one person's guidance can echo across a lifetime, shaping not only a career but a life, and leaving a mark on the world that is measured not just in chart-topping hits, but in the depth of influence, respect, and artistry she continues to inspire. Every note she sang, every stage she stood upon, and every listener moved by her music carries the imprint of that early belief, proving that true mentorship and authentic artistry transcend time, leaving an indelible mark on the soul of country music and on all who hear IT Today as Connie Smith reflects on her extraordinary journey. The depth of her relationship with Bill Anderson becomes ever clearer, revealing a story of mentorship, trust, and artistic devotion that transcends fame. Smith's rise from humble beginnings in Elkhart, Indiana to country music legend was shaped not only by her own prodigious talent, but by Anderson's discerning guidance, a guiding hand that helped her navigate a male-dominated industry while preserving her authenticity. Through every chart-topping hit, every performance, and every personal challenge, including the strains of multiple marriages and raising her children, Smith carried a lesson she learned from Anderson, to value sincerity over polish, to respect the art, and to honor the storyteller within. Even as she temporarily stepped away from music to focus on her spiritual and family life, that foundational mentorship stayed with her, reinforcing her confidence and shaping her legacy. In her later years, as she returned to recording and performing, the influence of Anderson's early belief in her talent became undeniable, visible in the emotional depth of her albums and the reverence with which she approached both music and life. At 84, Connie Smith does more than share memories. She illuminates the enduring power of mentorship, showing how one person's unwavering support can catalyze a lifetime of artistry, resilience, and inspiration. Her story is a testament to the human heart behind the music, proving that the bonds formed through respect, guidance, and shared passion can echo across decades, touching the lives of audiences, fellow artists, and future generations alike. In revealing the truth about Bill Anderson, Smith not only honors a man who believed in her, but also affirms a universal message, that true greatness is built not merely on talent, but on the integrity, care, and wisdom of those who lift others to their full potential. Her life, her songs, and her legacy continue to inspire, reminding us that mentorship, love for the craft, and unwavering authenticity are what shape a true icon in the world of country music. Connie Smith's story at 84 is not just about the accolades, awards, or timeless hits that defined a career. It is about the profound human connections that shaped her life and artistry. At the center of this narrative stands Bill Anderson, a figure whose mentorship went beyond professional guidance to embody the trust, patience, and understanding that a young Connie desperately needed as she navigated the daunting world of country music. From the moment Anderson recognized her extraordinary voice, he became a steadying force, offering not only opportunities for chart-topping hits like Once a Day, but also a framework for how to approach a craft with integrity and emotional honesty. Their collaboration, marked by mutual respect and deep artistic synergy, allowed Connie to grow into a performer whose emotional range could make audiences feel heartbreak, joy, and devotion all at once. Yet she never lost the humility and authenticity that defined her early years in Elkhart, Indiana. As she rose to stardom, navigating the highs and lows of fame, personal heartbreaks, and the demanding pace of touring, Anderson's influence remained a constant, an invisible hand guiding her decisions and nurturing the confidence that allowed her to make bold choices, such as stepping away from music to prioritize her family and spiritual life, without fear of losing her place in the industry. Decades later, as Smith returned to the stage and studio, the lessons imparted by Anderson manifested in her nuanced performances, her command of the storytelling tradition in country music, and her enduring ability to connect with audiences across generations. By finally speaking openly about their relationship, Connie Smith reveals not only the crucial role Anderson played in shaping her career, but also the enduring truth that mentorship, trust, and unwavering belief in someone's potential can be as transformative as talent itself. Her reflections remind us that behind every iconic voice is a network of guidance, encouragement, and shared vision that allows that talent to flourish. And through her lifetime of music, family, and faith, Smith demonstrates the timeless impact of genuine human connection in the making of a legend. Connie Smith's journey, now revealed at 84, is an extraordinary testament to resilience, artistry, and the transformative power of mentorship, as well as a reflection of how personal relationships can shape not only a career but an entire legacy. Born in Elkhart, Indiana, Smith overcame the poverty and hardships of her early years to become one of the most celebrated voices in country music. Her discovery by Bill Anderson was a pivotal moment that changed the course of her life, as he recognized not only the technical brilliance of her voice but the raw emotional authenticity that would allow her to touch the hearts of listeners for generations. Anderson's mentorship went far beyond crafting hits. He nurtured Smith's confidence, guiding her through the pressures of a male-dominated industry and the complex dynamics of fame, personal struggle, and professional growth. Through their collaboration, Smith learned to translate life's joys and sorrows into song, producing classics like Once a Day that will become defining moments in country music history. Beyond professional guidance, Anderson provided a stabilizing influence that helped Smith navigate the intense scrutiny of public life, the challenge of balancing family responsibilities with a demanding career, and the personal trials of multiple marriages and deep loss. As she matured, Smith's voice evolved with her experiences, maintaining its emotional depth and clarity, reflecting not only her personal journey but also the wisdom and encouragement Anderson imparted. Speaking publicly about him for the first time at this stage of her life, Connie reveals a profound depth of their bond, a mix of trust, respect, and unwavering support that transcended ordinary professional relationships. This revelation is a rare glimpse into the private, human side of an icon, illustrating how the guidance of a single mentor can echo across decades, influencing performances, choices, and the enduring legacy of an artist who remains an exemplar of sincerity, emotion, and resilience in country music. It also serves as a reminder that behind every legendary voice is often an unsung figure whose belief, insight, and care make greatness possible. Connie Smith's life story, intertwined with Anderson's mentorship, becomes more than a tale of hits and charts. It is a vivid chronicle of determination, artistry, love, and the transformative bonds that define both a career and a life fully lived, offering inspiration to artists, fans, and anyone striving to leave a meaningful mark on the world. Connie Smith's story at 84 is not just about her legendary career. It is a profound reflection on perseverance, faith, and the enduring impact of mentorship in shaping both a life and an art form. From the struggles of her childhood in Elkhart, Indiana, to the dazzling heights of country music stardom, Smith's voice carried more than notes. It carried emotion, lived experience, and an authenticity that drew listeners across generations. Her professional and personal journey was inextricably linked to Bill Anderson, whose guidance and insight provided a foundation upon which he built not just a career, but a lasting legacy. Anderson's influence extended far beyond songwriting. He instilled in Smith the courage to remain true to herself amidst the pressures of fame, to maintain integrity in her artistry, and to channel the deepest aspects of her human experience into music that touched millions. Their bond, characterized by mutual respect, trust, and unwavering support, allowed Smith to navigate a male-dominated industry with grace, balancing the demands of performance, public scrutiny, and the trials of her personal life. Even as she faced challenges such as multiple marriages, family responsibilities, and the emotional toll of long periods away from the spotlight, Smith's connection with Anderson remained a stabilizing force, a reminder that mentorship and collaboration can transform potential into greatness. As she reflects now, Smith's acknowledgement of Anderson is more than a personal confession. It is a testament to how pivotal relationships behind the scenes shape the legends we celebrate on stage, the songs that endure, and the emotional resonance that defines an artist's life. Her revelations offer fans, fellow musicians, and aspiring artists alike a glimpse into the human story behind the fame, illustrating that true artistry is rooted not only in talent, but in guidance, support, and the courage to embrace one's own voice. Through her decade-spanning career, her quiet return to music, and her ongoing commitment to authenticity, Connie Smith exemplifies the power of mentorship, the strength of character, and the lasting influence of a life fully lived in devotion to music, family, and faith, making her story an enduring beacon for all who seek to create, inspire, and leave a mark on the world that resonates far beyond charts and accolades.